My name is Malynda Mallory, Director of Emergency Services for Columbus House. I've been with Columbus House for about 16 years, and this pandemic has shown me that I love being here and I love doing the work that we do. Working with emergency services requires me to oversee our day-to-day operations for all of our shelter operations and our outreach and engagement services. These services go right to the community, and our frontline staff is right there to take the lead. They don't hesitate, they don't ask questions, they step right in, which I find to be so rewarding for not only us as an agency, but also the community. Working with the homeless population, it takes a special individual. Working with that population during the pandemic takes an extraordinary type of individual. What I appreciate about all the staff from Columbus House, especially under my direction under the emergency services, is that they didn't cease. Our services didn't cease. When the whole world seemed to stand still, Columbus House emergency services direct care staff kept pushing on to make sure we accomplished the goal of keeping our clients safe. Our emergency shelter has the capacity to serve about 175 individuals in the middle of the winter. That includes our main shelter and our overflow shelter. When the pandemic hit, both shelters were still in operation. We worked really hard with case management services and other providers to condense our numbers and lower the capacity. The residential staff stepped right in. They didn't ask questions. They continued to come to work. They weren't fearful. They just wanted to make sure that the clients were protected along with themselves. We moved into the hotel with about 100 individuals. And it was a big shift because initially when the pandemic hit, the clients were scared, they were nervous, they were hearing different things, and because it was so unknown at the time, we really didn't have all the answers, and we were just trying to prepare for worst case scenarios. The residential staff were definitely concerned about their families, they were concerned about themselves, but more importantly, they were concerned about the clients. They knew that the clients had no other option. They couldn't go anywhere else. And because there were so many in our building at the time, we had to practice social distancing and sanitizing, and they stepped into roles that they don't normally do. Once we went to the hotel with the 100 individuals that we had to do business a little different than what we're accustomed to doing here in the shelter. It required a different sense of service. We wanted to make sure that the clients were mentally okay, dealing with the pandemic, dealing with going from the shelter to a hotel, so many unknown answers. They were frightened just like the staff was frightened. The clients found their rhythm. They found what worked. They were okay with signing in and out. They were okay with our COVID checks. They were okay with those things because they knew the staff was taking care of them. They knew we contemplated every scenario possible to make sure that they were safe. We were providing COVID testing. The clients were being tested. The staff were being tested, and they were confident in that. I had one client share with me how appreciative she was for the staff because she felt like they had her best interests at heart. There were a lot of sacrifices personally that staff had to make. They had to decide to come to work with the possibility that they could be jeopardizing their family members at home. We had one staff member who came to work but was so scared to go home, he slept in his car until he had confidence that he wasn't going to infect his disabled mom at home with COVID. For me, I understood that totally because I too have a compromised mother that was at home with me. So I definitely respect the dedication and appreciate the dedication of all the staff. When they came to work, when they were nervous about coming to work, when they were nervous about possibly contracting COVID and bringing it home to their loved ones, they still pressed on, and that should absolutely be acknowledged and appreciated. Most of our staff were home, working from home and doing all the behind the scenes work, but the things that could not be done behind the scenes was accomplished because of the hard work of the residential department.